I'm reading from the PDF of National Open University of Nigeria, and the course is PED 351, which is what again now? Let me see. PED 351, and the course title is Subject Methods, Adult Basic Education. And I'm reading specifically from page 25. Adult Basic Education, PED 351, National Open University. I'm reading from page 25. Difference between education and literacy. Literacy simply means the ability to read and write. Education, on the other hand, means to acquire knowledge, to enhance one's ability to reason and make sound judgment. However, and this is key, this is the whole essence of this recording, of this message. When one is instructed to only view things in a certain manner, regardless of truth and facts, this is actually a form of programming, not education. I'll take it again. In differentiating between education and literacy, we define literacy as simply means to be able to read and write. Education simply means to acquire knowledge, to enhance one's ability to reason and make sound judgment. Now, in differentiating between these two, it is important to understand this. If we fail to understand this, then the poverty and hunger in Nigeria continues. Now, what is the difference? When one is instructed to only view things in a certain manner, regardless of truth and fact, this is actually a form of programming, not education. This is exactly where the manipulation and the weaponization of religion take place. With religion right now in Nigeria, the citizens are instructed, forced to receive information regardless of truth and fact. They are forced to believe regardless of truth and fact. They are forced to have faith regardless of truth and fact. And educationists, people who understand that education is much more important than literacy, they understand that when anybody, citizens of a country, are instructed to only view things in a certain manner, regardless of truths and facts, that is not education. That is not religion. What is happening is actually a form of programming. It is actually indoctrination. There are three types of learning: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Those are the three forms of learning. So for anybody to have complete education, education that will equip that person with the skill to make a better life for himself and for his society, for it to be complete, it has to be comprised of these three components. What are these components? Knowledge, which is the process of instruction to gain information, right? That's the process of indoctrination, rote memorization. The second part is skill, ability to do something, use your hands or your head, your skills to make or eke out a living, to develop yourself, to develop your society. And the third part is attitude, which is the ability to make sound decisions, take what you have been able to learn from reading and writing to improve the society, particularly through STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths. That's STEM. In fact, right now it's STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. So when education in a society is only consisting of one part of the three requirements for effective learning, that is no education at all. That is indoctrination. It is a form of programming. And right now, is this not what we have in Nigeria? And unfortunately, religion is helping us in this direction. In the direction of indoctrination and programming. Wrongful, self-destructive indoctrination and programming. Because they instruct you to view things in a certain manner without regard for truth and fact. How do you explain this testimony? It's a rather long one, but I'll advise that you be patient. Watch this testimony from Dunamis about a soldier, about a soldier with the NSCDC. And then you have another testimony about a first-class graduate. All of these are evidence of the fact that people have been instructed to view things in a certain manner, regardless of the truth and facts. And so they're just being programmed. Every testimony is intended to program. It's not intended to give education to the people. It's not intended to develop the country. This is where we need to, as a country, begin to retrace our steps, correct this manipulation. Nobody is calling for the abolition of religion. That is not even possible. Because if you have read the 48 laws of power, you discover that one of the 48 laws actually says that we should play on people's need to believe. People want to believe something because of spirituality. The nexus between physicality and spirituality. Because of that, there's a need to believe. So, one of the 48 laws of power says play on people's needs to believe. That is what religion is playing on. And because we have that need to anchor our spiritual energy on something so that we can launch from there, some people have weaponized it in religion and they are using it to instruct our citizens to only view things in a certain way, both Christianity and in Islam, regardless of truth and facts. This is dangerous for Nigeria. And if we're going to make progress, we have to change it. We have to change it. We have to change it. And to change it, we need to change the people in charge of these policies. We need to change the people in charge of these policies. We don't have to worry about those who are in charge of religion. We don't have to worry about those who are in charge of other sectors. What we need to worry about is those who are in charge of the policies, and that is government. That is leadership. And how do we change leadership? We need to go to the political parties. That is the root, that is the source of all the bad leadership that we have. And, of course, at the root, we have the political parties. So if we're going to change anything about the bad leadership in Nigeria, and we neglect the political parties, we are only wasting time. We are only doing the same thing to get the same result. We are only being insane and mad. If we're going to have a change in leadership, a change from bad leadership to good leadership in Nigeria, the first place to tackle is the political parties. And the political parties must be made by law now to be required to scrap the nomination form, exorbitant nomination form. In fact, a legislation should be made that no political party in Nigeria should charge more than 50,000 for any nomination form, whether for local government to presidency. In fact, the nomination form should be free. But who is going to pass this law? These same people that are benefiting from this corrupt system, these same people who are the ones that have rigged the system, who are the ones that have captured the system for themselves and have fenced out well-meaning Nigerians, well-intentioned Nigerians with integrity. They won't change it. So what do we need to do? Throw our hands in the air and say there's nothing we can do? No. There's something we can do. We can make use of our numbers. And you and I, those of us that are not benefiting from the corruption in the system, we can come together and do something. I don't blame those who are benefiting from the corruption in the system. If you are a supporter of this Tinubu administration and you are getting less than 20 million per year, or this first year now of Tinubu, if you calculate all the monies that you have made and it is less than 20 million naira, my brother, my sister, you are a big fool. And I know that the majority of people who are supporting this Tinubu administration, many of them don't even benefit up to 1 million naira. And if you put the totality of them together, they are not up to 1 million. Out of 200 million Nigerians, where are the 199 million? It is you that this video is for. It is you that needs to come out and collaborate with us to create a Nigeria that works, starting with forming a political party that is based on ideology, so that the political space can be opened, so that we can remove this restriction that has been placed on it by those who have rigged the system. Restrictions that remove, that fences out people who have not been able to benefit from this corruption. People who have not been able to loot. We need to remove that restriction. So we're forming a brand new political party, and it's called Abundance Party of Nigeria. At the Abundance Party of Nigeria, there is no nomination form fees. Absolutely zero. At the Abundance Party of Nigeria, you cannot run for office unless you have joined the party for at least 12 months, 1 year. So we cannot have a situation whereby people lose elections in other political party and they hurriedly bring their shenanigans to our Abundance Party of Nigeria because they have money to throw around. No, that cannot happen. All these ideologies will be entrenched in the political party constitution, which carries a lot of power. Primaries in this Abundance Party of Nigeria will be direct primaries, and the voters register will be available to all. So this way, the political party, the political arena is thrown open. Let thousands come and apply. If the intention is not to rig, the elections or the primaries will be easy to manage. The only reason they give is that direct primaries will be difficult to manage. It will only be difficult when the intention is to rig, when you want to walk from answer to question. But if the intention is to be free and fair, which will be guaranteed by the constitution of this our brand new Abundance Party of Nigeria, then it will be easy, even if you have 1,000 people coming out for elections. In addition to these ideologies, there are others that, in fact, right now, the president, Tinubu, is using cars that are not made in Nigeria. Even though one of his aides came out to come and lie that Tinubu has not bought any new car. That is not true. They couldn't even wait for 2024 budget. They had to do supplementary budget in 2023 to buy new cars for the president and for the first lady. And we see the cars. All through the 8 years of Buhari, we didn't see him use a Range Rover. We didn't see him use a Toyota. All through the 8 years of Buhari, what we saw him with was what? Mercedes-Benz. Those Mercedes-Benz S-Class. I think there are about 5 of them. That's what we saw Buhari in. But now we are seeing Tinubu in Lexus, we are seeing him in Range Rover, we are seeing him in this, we are seeing him in that. And then somebody comes out to lie and say that he has not bought any new car. We know that's a lie. Because we see the videos are there. Now, in this, our new political party is going to be different. We cannot buy, as a government, anything from outside that is made in Nigeria, which means if we subscribe to that law, none of our legislators will buy their cars from outside when we have Innocent or Nord. That's what it means. These are the things that we will entrench in our constitution so that we can open the political space and so that we can throw up credible candidates, people with integrity, people with interest in Nigeria. You don't need to have looted, you don't need to have billions before you can contest election on this our party. No. It's a level playing field. Everybody is equal. Your billions mean nothing in this abundance party of Nigeria. This is the party that we want to build. And it is the only way to solve the leadership problem in Nigeria. Are you interested? Click the link in the description to join us. We'll talk more later.